A very warm welcome from me to the entire MLP IR team. We have Deniz Yucel here with us, the head of IR for MLP. We have Turgut Yilmaz and Gizem Kuzbayar. I hope I did that correctly. A very warm welcome. And let me start, first of all, by saying many congratulations to another fantastic result in the Emerging EMEA Executive Team Survey 2020. You have, created a clean sweep across all the different voting categories in first position, from CEO to the IR program. Very, very well done for a company that is also very recently listed and a fairly new IR team. So I think congratulations to you. Tell us a little bit, what do those awards mean to you? What is the significance to you as a team and for your management?
Thank you, Amani, for having us. As you said, last year we got the highest votes in all categories on both buy side and sell side. Although we are a newly listed company, we achieved great success. Of course, we are delighted with such success as the company management and the investor relations team. For us, it's very important to see the appreciation of the work we have done throughout the year. It's also very encouraging to improve ourselves. 2020 was a very difficult year, particularly for the healthcare sector. And as the investor relations team, we have decided to dedicate this award to all healthcare professionals who are fighting on the front lines.
Yeah, fantastic. As you said, it has been actually a very difficult year, specifically also for your sector. Tell us a little bit about how did you deal with that from an investor relations point of view? What are the exact and practical measures that you have taken to keep your investors up to date, to keep engaged, and potentially also target new investors?
We started 2020 with actually very strong expectations. We did our investor meetings as usual in the beginning of the year in January in New York and London. That was, normal according to our investor relations calendar. But with the outbreak of the first pandemic case in Turkey in March, life changed completely. We and our analysts, our clients, basically analysts and portfolio managers, we all have to work from home. That was something we had never decided before. We have, video calls were available in the past, but we never preferred to use them. And now it is a necessity. And there are no domestic and international travels for the meetings anymore. And all of a sudden, actually, we have a lot of time. And I think we made good use of this time. Obviously, we had our busiest period between March and June. All investors were trying to hear over Turkey's fight against the pandemic. We followed very closely both the data announced by the Minister of Health and, of course, the data coming from our hospitals every day. And I think we did very well to inform our investors about the progress of the pandemic and how we actually fight with the pandemic conditions in our business.
Yeah, very well. ESG is obviously one of the categories that the buy side and sell side is evaluating as part of our research. Guide us through your ESG journey. Where are you at the moment? What are the challenges? How do you find alignment with investors on the metrics that you're measuring?
Thank you very much for the question. Actually, today we just got out of one of our ESG meetings. To start the story from the beginning, besides financial KPIs, non-financial KPIs has also increasingly became important in decisions made by the investors. And now, obviously, ESG practices are a very vital metric for many investors. And many investors say the ESG framework is not just good to have measure anymore, because companies with strong ESG framework may perform better. And because those companies can identify, address, and mitigate risks successfully, they finally produce better corporate financial performance. This year, we started working with KPMG on our ESG reporting. We held meetings with our investors who attach importance to ESG reporting, just to have exchange views on the KPIs that we will report. We are looking at best practices, but ESG strategy is not something that you can copy. We are working on to determine what issues are material for our industry and for us. There will be a learning process for all company, board and the management are learning as we go along the process. Our goal is to publish our first report this year. And after reporting, we will have investor relations programs for entering ESG-related indices, and also, of course, do marketing to relevant funds.
Corporate governance is obviously part of this whole ESG evaluation process. Tell us a little bit about your practices and the structures within MLP, please.
Sure. As a member of the Corporate Governance Committee, which is reporting to Board of Directors, I work very closely with the board. We have very valuable independent board members. In addition, 2 of our board members are women. It is very well understood how important a well-functioning corporate structure is in this pandemic. Especially the risk committee came to the fore during this period, and we managed this difficult time very successfully with the ability of the board to take quick and agile decisions. Since our infrastructure was suitable, we started work from home very quickly, and our hospitals continued to provide complete and flawless service during this difficult period.
Yeah, very good. And Deniz, you mentioned earlier as well the transition into virtual meetings. I think this is one thing that we will all take away from the pandemic. But IR digitization has been a process even before the pandemic, and a lot of tools and practices have been adopted to make IR a lot more efficient. What are in your program the tools that you are using?
In the 2020 II study, we were ranked #1 in terms of responsiveness. As we work from home and there are lockdowns at the weekends, we are available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Joking aside, I can say that our dialogue with investors and analysts has become more frequent than before. And this is, of course, more efficient in terms of accurate and fast sharing of information. As you said, before pandemic, we have started using several tools, several CRM tools, actually, to increase the efficiency of the work. Those CRM tools right now helping us to organize virtual roadshows or to make ourselves more efficient during this hassle period.
Yeah, and both of your colleagues are very excited to learn that they are now 24/7 available to investor. I can tell. Fantastic. Well, you have been personally on the research side, and your entire team has a really diverse sort of set of skills and experience. What would you say are your top tips with regards to IR practices, IR tool must-haves?
Trust is the key focus of strategic communication. As an IRO, you have to integrate finance, communication, marketing, and security law to enable the most effective two-way communication between a company and the financial community, of course, which will finally contribute to the company's shares achieving its fair valuation. I think sell-side analyst could become a good IRO because of interpersonal relationships with the key fund managers and other sell-side analysts. In addition, the understanding of sell-side analysts, how the market works, and familiarity with the work of research analysts helps a lot. Investors trust former analysts as they have seen their past work. However, this is not enough. IRO also needs to have very good storytelling skills and improved PR skill sets. IROs must pitch the story very well and convince the investors for the success of the company. The messages must be easy to comprehend, And IRO must be creative in crafting messages as they have to be appealing to the investors. And last but not the least, my most important recommendation to IROs is to get involved in companies' important project. In this way, they can both get involved in company operations, follow the agenda closely, and open new opportunities ahead of their careers. For example, we have become the sponsor of Tool Quality Program, one of the company's most important projects. With this program, we entered into a very comprehensive government incentive scheme, which will support our two strong brands, Medical Park and Live Hospital brands abroad.
Very good. So also developing the internal stakeholder community as well as the external stakeholder community. So we found out a lot about your practices and your tips and tricks in terms of IR. I will move to a lighter part of the interview and ask you some more personal question, if I may. The first question is, name a historical figure that you would like to meet, and what would you ask them?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very good questions, because since my childhood, I was dreaming about meeting Einstein. And if Einstein was still alive and I had a chance to meet him, I would like to ask him how he managed to squeeze all 1,000 years of science into just one lifetime.
That's an excellent question. I don't know, Gizem and Turgut, do you have a historical figure you want to share? No. Who is your favorite singer or band?
My taste constantly changing, but I mean, there is a composer which I never get tired of listening to, is Johannes Brahms, and especially Hungarian dance. That's my favorite.
Classic music, beautiful. And which quote from a movie do you use on a regular basis in daily life?
I'm a fan of Star Wars, and there's one quote I always remember, stay on target. This is the movie from the Gold 5, and this keeps myself focused and stay away from daily chaos.
Very, very good. I'm sure very apt for the business that you're in as well. And which book did you read last?
The last book I finished was How Google Works. I strongly recommend this to my colleagues and all my IR professionals working in the same field. One of the main companies that are capable of innovation will stay as leaders. Give your employees space and freedom to innovate as they know the problem better than anyone else. And make sure the decisions are made by consensus so everyone can come together around the purpose.
Yeah, fantastic takeaways there from you on the book as well. And the last question for you is, what are your personal objectives for 2021?
I will definitely continue to learn about new technologies, particularly about healthcare industry, and I will continue to improve my language skills.
Fantastic. Which languages are you learning?
I'm practicing German and Russian.
Are you? Okay. Well, next time we switch to German then, Deniz. So fantastic.
Yes, we should.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. This was really quite insightful and interesting. Great advice there for the IR community and your colleagues. And it's great to see you as a team, because I know you emphasize obviously the team for performance at MLP. Thank you again for your time, and congratulations on the fantastic results that you have achieved for the Emerging EMEA Executive Team 2020. I hope that we will be able to see each other at the TUIT Summit this year, fingers crossed. But until then, all the best and good luck with all the endeavors. And I hope you have a very good year.
Yes, thank you very much. This was pleasure and fun for us. Hope to see you next year.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.